All right, so this is your first bonus tip. We completely covered how to plan, shop, and cook all the meals. And now we have to figure out how to survive when we actually have to go out to eat, when we are out of our environment that we can actually control. It's going to be inevitable. You're going to be invited by friends and family to go out to eat. You want to share a night out with your spouse. Perfectly fine. But this is where a lot of people falter. They have the all or nothing mindset when they are going to a situation they can't fully control, therefore, they lose all control. And that does not need to happen. You can make better choices while enjoying your time with your friends, or making a quick fast food run if that's the case, but just also being mindful of overall calories and food options. So, first, seek a lower calorie option. If you're going to fast food, get something without bread. So, a McChicken sandwich is around 300 calories. A McChicken patty is 160 calories. So if you just get the patty, you are cutting out half of your calories. So if you get two of those, that's roughly 300 calories versus 600 calories. And you can see how that alone can make a big difference. Because if you normally get two McChickens twice a week and you cut that out to just two McChicken patties twice a week, then you could lose 1 pound a week weight loss regularly by making that small change. And so seeking lower calorie options, like I said, choose chicken over beef. Chicken tends to be a lower calorie option than beef. Beef tends to be fattier and also has higher calorie. And so choose chicken over beef. Same thing, grilled over fried or crispy. Fried and crispy is going to be deep fried in some form of oil, which is going to be fat, which is going to increase calories. And this is where a lot of hidden calories come from. If you look something up on like MyFitnessPal or another app, and it'll say this is X amount of calories, and you log it in, you log it perfectly, you still may not be logging or accounting for a lot of what I call hidden calories because it comes from things like olive oil and oils that we deep fry in. Also, choose vegetables as a side. If you're going to a sit-down restaurant, get some broccoli, maybe even with a little bit of cheese sprinkled on top over French fries. Good, quick, and easy way to lower a bunch of calories. And again, you are slowly changing your taste palette to actually enjoy vegetables versus more deep fried foods like fries. Practice portion control. We all know that, especially in America, when you go out to eat, portions are astronomical. And so practice proper portion control. Try to mimic what you do at home with the portion sizes at least. Don't be afraid to cut something up in half and take it home. One thing that I like to do, and this is the next one, and this is a quick and easy life hack to where you can cut your meal in half essentially and create two meals, is just cut your entree in half. If you don't feel like you can actually physically control yourself, while there, you're taking that first bite and you're like, this whole plate's gonna be gone. Knowing you're gonna be overly stuffed, ask the server, if you're at a sit down restaurant, ask the server to cut it in half and give it to you in a box to go. So that way you don't even have to look at it. And so, like, say you get a burger, cut the burger in half, set the other half aside, eat the broccoli as a side, and then your other burger. Then you have half of a burger for lunch tomorrow, and you're consuming roughly half of the calories. So, those are some quick ways to survive eating out. All right, last up on the list is surviving a D&D session. You're like, great, we survived how to go out to eat, but that's relatively short term. That's just a quick run to the fast food place or a quick sit down restaurant, which takes an hour. D&D, however, takes 4, 6, 8, 12, 36 hours. I don't know how long you play. And so we need to learn how we can actually survive those sessions, because food at a D&D table is as common as starting a campaign in a tavern, right? And so they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And so this is where we start practicing a little bit more mindful eating long term and practice moderation. You can have your snacks, you can have your chips and stuff like that, but just portion out one portion, one serving, and eat that. Don't have the bag of chips with you, eating mindlessly while playing, listening to the DM, listening to other players, because you will eat significantly more portion sizes or portions than you would if you just put one serving in a bowl and ate that. You can still eat mindlessly while enjoying the campaign, but you'll be eating a much smaller, limited option. Next, opt in for 0-calorie drinks. This is huge for really any time in life ever. Try not to drink your calories. The only real exception that I like to this is a protein shake. And if you're trying to lose weight, chances are you could do better by eating that protein versus drinking that protein. So don't look at a meal replacement shake as a good thing, because a lot of times they're just as many calories as a whole food meal anyway. So rule of thumb in life, don't drink your calories unless you want to indulge in like alcohol and stuff like that. Just be mindful of that. My go-to is Dr. Pepper cream soda, 0 sugar, 0 calorie. There's a lot of misconceptions about artificial sweeteners. People think it's taboo. They think it's might as well just be drinking the sugary drinks anyway, and that is quite honestly bullshit. No scientific literature that I have seen that shows that artificial sweeteners are unhealthy in a human population. A lot of what we see and a lot of what's cited is animal studies. I don't need to get into the weeds now, but they essentially give these mice normally an absurd amount, something that's thousands of times what we would normally ingest. And they say, oh, well, it causes tumor growth. Like, yeah, no shit, you're giving them literally their body weight in aspartame. And so there's no real scientific backing. And if, again, a normal can of Coke is roughly 160 calories, I think. If you're somebody who drinks multiple cans a day and you cut that out to Coke Zero, don't drink Diet Coke because that tastes like ass. Drink Coke Zero. And if you drink, go from 3 cans of Coke to 3 cans of Coke Zero, that could be enough to lose 1 pound a week. So if you combine that with swapping out McChickens for McChicken patties, you can lose 2 pounds a week just by doing those 2 things. Next, be mindful of your eating. I know I said practice moderation so that way you can mindlessly eat small portions, but try to just be mindful of what you're eating. If you have, a bowl of chocolates, don't just sit there mindlessly eating them. They're in front of you. There is a rule, Berardi's rule, that if a food is readily available, it will get eaten. And so if you have a food in front of you, like a bowl of M&Ms or a bag of chips, they'll get eaten. So try to be mindful of that. Try to move them away, move them out of sight if you can. But just try to be mindful of what you're eating. Then the next one, bring healthy alternatives. I know not everybody wants to be that person that brings the quote unquote healthy snacks, but you can bring some for yourself. Cut up apples, oranges, fruits. Fruits are really good because they're sweet. You get that sweet curb. You get the curb that sweet craving. And so just bring your own snacks if you want, while still allowing yourself to indulge in things that are at the table. So don't have to go all in on one or the other. Eat an apple and then indulge in some Doritos or whatever. But just be mindful of it and then always fall back onto those more healthier alternatives. Last one, be engaged in the game. If you're focusing on what the campaign's doing, what the DM's saying, what other players are doing, you'll be less inclined to eat because you're going to be more engaged and mentally stimulated than always needing that next dopamine fix through food. So stay engaged in the game. You'll enjoy the game better. Your DM will enjoy you better. You'll probably enjoy your DM better, and you'll enjoy your players better. And so really, it's great all around. Don't be making dice towers while eating Doritos. Try to stay engaged in the game.